cars, and guess what? The 2021 Nissan 400Z revived the Z car legacy with the twin turbo V6 power. Now, this is coming from Car and Driver. This is a redesign. It's finally coming soon for Nissan's iconic sports car, and it sounds promising. Now, the next generation Nissan Z sports car is finally on the horizon, and here's what Car and Driver knows about it so far. The new 400Z will be the long awaited replacement for the ancient 370Z, which has been on sale since 2009 with few updates. Now, we expect the new Z to debut sometimes this year in the 2021. Now, this story originally appeared in May 2020 issue of Car and Driver as part of the 25 cars worth waiting for package. Now, the sneak preview of the most exciting cars coming in the next few years draws on the knowledge from leaked products development plans, spy photos, loose lip insiders, mixed in with information that has already been officially released. The reporting for this story was completed in February and early March, before the auto industry began feeling major effects from the coronavirus pandemic. As many automakers are now delaying or passing development programs, the debut and the on-sale dates reported here may change. This car is off the chain, folks. The lines are awesome. Look at that scope here. Just look at it. I mean, this is a true rendition of the Nissan Z car. Everything about it is just clean and fine. And everything about it is just minute. And everything seems to follow function just looking at this angle. Now, the sports car that everyone forgot, including Nissan, apparently is still alive, though hardly doing well. Judged against today's sports car, the 11-year-old Nissan 370Z is about as competitive as the bicycle. Later this year, though, Nissan will finally give the Z car the attention it deserves by introducing a successor. Now, the new Z code name Z35 won't be a ground up rethink. It will continue on the latest version of the Nissan FM platform and share components with the Infiniti Q60 Coupe. Now, the twin turbo 3.0 liter V6 that makes up the 400 horsepower in the Infiniti Q50 and the Q60 seems like a more than likely shoe in. Now, it makes a lot of sense because a lot of car manufacturers, it's easier for them to, shoe that in because it would be less expensive. Now, 7-speed automatic is the only transmission available in Infinitis, but in this particular car, the world is hoping for a stick. Nissan already hinted that such a thing is possible when it's bolted a 6-speed manual to the twin turbo engine for a modified 370Z SEMA concept in 2019. The engine and the architecture can accommodate all-wheel drive, but there's a big doubt that Nissan will go on that route. It would be nice if they did, especially if they're going to be competing against the Supra. I think it would be good for them to add something like that to the package. But we don't know, and Car and Driver is more than likely on the other side saying that won't happen. And they usually have the insider news. Now, the Z is a front engine, rear wheel drive sports car. And they believe that would stay true to its heritage. And we believe that it would be nice if it did stay front wheel drive, but if it was also computer control with no traction, that those front wheels would kick in, that would make better acceleration and better handling. But then when you wanted the rear wheel drive, like BMW does, it switches it off and make it go to the back, to make the car more sporting, and that would be sweet. But more likely Nissan won't do that. The 300Z name, or the 300ZX, for nostalgia's sake, would make the most sense given the engine's displacement. But there's a prediction that Nissan will choose the 400Z to assert the new car superiority over its predecessors. Now, the original Datsun 240Z is said to serve as a styling inspiration. Now, we hope that means that 400Z will present simple, clean lines rather than the busy, borderline torture look seen on some recent Nissan concepts and production cars. Roundish headlights and the 300ZX style tail lights will reportedly serve as key retro touches. Now, the one that we see in this picture doesn't really have, you know, too many of the retro touches, but it does remind you of the previous Z, but it looks like, they have made it better. So we don't know which way Nissan will go. Now, the old school theme won't extend inside. That's a good thing because the Z interior is in need of a modern makeover. The cabin should retain its cozy two-seat, atmosphere, but it'll benefit from the latest Nissan infotainment system and a fresh dashboard look. And that would make a difference. That would put it, in line with its competition, because that Toyota Supra with its BMW design and everything is a high, it creates a high benchmark. And in order to make that benchmark, Nissan is really going to have to come out because, Supra and BMW, they have made a star. Now, today the 370Z starts at $31,015, making it a decent performance bargain despite its age. When it goes on sale next year, the next model will see its price uptick to start somewhere at $40,000, and that will put it in a better position than the Toyota Supra. So there's a lot to expect with this Nissan Z car. And when you talk about nostalgia, that's when we go back to the Fair Lady. Now, the Fair Lady is, the retro look. And now, since the Nissan 370Z has been on sale for over 10 years, the wait for the Nissan Z car to arrive is testing the world's patience. Nissan still hasn't officially announced plans to revive the Z car for a new generation, but the hype was recently rekindled when a reported claim that the 370Z replacement will be called the 400Z and be revealed within the next year. Now, sources claim that the 400Z will be powered by an Infinity Source 3.0-liter twin turbocharged V6, seen around 400 horsepower to the rear wheels through either a Nismo Tune automatic or a 6-speed manual. Now, we don't know what to expect, but the retro look of this one hits it right on cue. And this would make the Nissan 400Z more powerful than the Toyota Supra GR, which produces 382 horsepower from a 3.0-liter turbo inline 6. And the most powerful guys, it turns out that the Nissan 400Z could have another huge advantage over the Supra. Now, citing inside sources like All Car News, claims that the 400Z will have a starting price of around $40,000, making it more affordable than the GR Supra, which we talked about earlier. And for reference, the Toyota GR Supra is at $40,000 for the 2.0 model and $49,990, which basically we just round that baby off to $50 for the 3.0 version. And though it is surprising that the Nissan 370Z is also a very affordable sports car, and that one now starts off at an amazing $30,000. Now, as for the design, the same source claimed that the 400Z will have a retro-inspired design. And it will look like a modern version of the 240Z and the Z32 and the 300ZX. As a result, the styling would be a radical departure from the current V-Motion design language, which is good because it's got to make a change. Now, featuring the double halo ring LED lights at the front, that is spectacular. Reminds you of the 240Z style, and the rectangular front grille is with a visible intercooler for the twin turbos. That is just awesome. Now, the rear will also retain the 370Z that fast look, that fastback design, but will apparently be shorter, while the tail lights will look sleeker, and incorporate the LEDs. Now, the interior will also be extensively upgraded with the new digital dashboard infotainment system and some retro touches. Now, there's not a reveal date yet, but the car industry, including Car and Driver and all car news, they feel that it's coming soon. So the world is waiting for this, waiting for this reveal. Again, this is the latest news on the new 400Z, and boy, is it spectacular, and it is coming soon. This is AO Automotive Reviews. Remember, like, share, and subscribe.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.